Tēnā te mihi aroha, which means greetings with so much love to you, joining myself, Carmelle Riley from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and my beautiful, angelic, darling guest today, Neelma Sharma. Welcome.
Thank you, Carmelle. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's such an honor.
Oh, well, it's such a pleasure, and I especially love that we've captured the Venus light between the two of us, which we'll be channeling for this little YouTube directed segment. You know, we're not going to be talking forever and ever, but we are going to be bringing through that beautiful wahine, gentle flowing feminine energy. And starting with you, Neelma, tell us just a little bit about you, what you are here to serve.
I think I am here to bring faith back to people, because once upon a time I was very, very lost. And it's through my faith I am where I am today, because you have to believe in the magic if you want to see magic. You have to be an alchemist of your life to alchemize ordinary things into extraordinary things. So I think I'm an alchemist, and I'm here to teach others how to be an alchemist.
That's awesome. And just tell us a little bit about what it is, your brand of alchemy, and what it is that you teach, because that's a pretty cool story.
So my story is my daughter's special needs, and she's got a lot of challenges on a daily basis. So she's 13 now, and it took me a while to get to the stage where now I can call myself an alchemist, because, and my podcast is called the Everyday Alchemist, because I'm an everyday mum. So I'm teaching people how to turn ordinary moments into magical moments. You know, it's something that we create ourselves. So I think my brand is bringing miracles into our everyday life, and I believe we are the magicians of our own life. So I'm teaching people, my brand is everyone is an alchemist. If I can do it, you can do it. Everyone can do it.
And that is actually, it's not just you, because you have a very incredibly supportive husband and a very beautiful family around you. And obviously Nishawa herself, your daughter, she's an amazing conduit of magic and light. So you're kind of like a magical family. You're not really every day, because like I always say that, you know, you're lucky if you've got more than one spiritual, you know, alchemic focused, faith practicing on the daily person, ana whānau. But you are part of a really supportive family. So do you want to talk a little bit about that and why that works?
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe my daughter has come here to awake me and my husband, but along with us to awake the family, you know, she is a light bringer. She does bring light into the world in her own way, which I can talk about later. But so she is a very magical person. She doesn't speak. Part of her syndrome is Nishaya is non-verbal. She's non-mobile. But what I've learned over the years of my spiritual journey is that Nishaya was a healer in her previous life. She was my mum, and I was her daughter, and she was the healer. So in this lifetime, the roles have changed. Nishaya has come, and yes, I've given birth to Nishaya because I'm her mum. But in reality, I feel like Nishaya has given birth to me because she's brought this version out of me, maybe that I couldn't have brought out on my own. So she is very magical. Without speaking a word, I feel like she's the one that's been leading me through my spiritual journey, the spiritual awakening after the diagnosis. Things started happening, started crying out to God, you know, to God as you do. And things started unfolding, and I'm very blessed to have a partner, my husband in life, that is very, very supportive. Initially, he is a skeptic, so it took him a while to jump on board. But you know, once he started seeing the miracles, the synchronicities, the things just manifesting in our life through what I was doing. And I believe that Nick always had it hidden inside of him, because I feel like he was partially on this journey before me. He's very motivated, you know, he's just very magical in his own way with sales and business and work and stuff. But I think I awoke a little bit of magic in him through Nishaya awakening it into me. So now we are a magical family. We do manifest a lot together. We create our own reality.
So tell us, because it hasn't been an easy year for you, and I know this because we've actually tried to have this interview a few times.
And I apologize.
December, and we're having it, which is just the timing of the way that things are. But I know a lot of people have really struggled over the past few months with feeling the magic. You know, we've had the last, we're in this kind of, we've had some tricky things in our wider environments and a lot of division here in Aotearoa in New Zealand. So for you, what is a practice that helps you to just feel vibrant and feel the obvious magic that's in your family and in through your daughter, but how do you actually practically get yourself out of the dark hole, black hole, grumpy zone, losing your love of what is around you? How do you bring yourself into a higher elevation?
So firstly, I want to say we are human beings and we are going to fall off we do fall off grace once in a while. But I think with Nick and I, we are so determined to give our child the best life possible. And there's so much love in our house that we can't stay in that vibration for very long. I think the number one thing that has really helped us is creating boundaries around us. We don't watch the news. We have not watched the news in a very long time because it's all, I don't want to know what's happening in the world. I do find out reading headlines or whatever.
Bad things, because you don't have the good things in the news.
Yeah, there's no good things in the news. They might have 1-2 minute segment, right? But so because I'm an empath, what I noticed was when I listen to the news or if I get bogged down with all this negative stuff, I can't switch off. And that then has an impact on me, my child, my house, because everything is vibrating, right? And we want to be vibrating at a high frequency. So the number one thing is creating boundaries, knowing what is actually good for you, what's going to help you keep in this magic flow and what's going to bring you down. So there's been a lot of soul searching. There's been a lot of cleaning and cleansing of people as well. People do bring you down, and I am an angelic person, and I'm going to say it. Not everyone wants your help. So at the same time, I'm here to help people, but you can only help who you can help, right? So it's creating a lot of boundaries and really always tapping back into the bigger picture. The bigger picture being, I think gratitude is the number one thing that I tap into on a daily basis, because it reminds me of all the goodness I have and everything that has worked in our favor so far. So that keeps me grounded, and I'm actually getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, because that is my authentic truth. Without being grateful for what you have, you can't actually go forward, because you're never going to be grateful for stuff. So I don't know if that answered your question, but gratitude, creating boundaries, tapping back into the frequency of magic and looking at the bigger picture.
And so looking forward, and this is kind of probably a little bit unusual question, but looking forward into 2025 now, what are the themes that you see that are really important for yourself, but also for the clients that you work with, the whānau members that you connect with, and your wider community of friends and angelic, magical people, and some others? What is the key area of service that you are going to take forward for the next year?
I think it is coming back to the magic again. Like you said, there's been so much stuff happening in the world, right? I mean, US election, we're on the other side of the world, but we get phased by it. It's all energy. You feel the energy in the world. As you step out to go to the mall, you feel the energy there. And I think it's just reminding people over and over again that you are the creator of your reality. No matter what's happening outside, if there's a recession, there's inflation, you can't get bogged down with outside news. You can create your own reality. That's where my alchemist practices come and wake up, do your meditation, go outside, speak to the universe. You've got your angelic team, you've got your soul guides, you've got so much help around you that you are never alone. You are never alone.
That's my wand.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Everyone should have a magical wand like that.
I know. It just came to me on the beach. I have friends with big sticks.
I love it.
They dance with them, but I always pick up little short, stubby wands.
It looks like a hand. It actually looks like a...
But it was funny because when you were talking, I was like, where's my wand? I need it.
Yeah. So we all should be magical and have a wand. And if we can't find a wand, then use your hands. I mean, you can just move things, you know. If there's something in your space that's bothering you, use your hands, go stand outside and just shift it away. Like, we've got so much power within us.
Yeah. Do you ground and work in your bare feet? Because it's become something... barefoot, that barefootedness. I was bare feet in the middle of winter in Christchurch, -4 walking around the beach. You know, is that something that are you, you know, having your feet bare? Is that something?
Yeah, definitely. No, not so much in winter, because I do ground through visualization as well. So I do a meditation where I sit, you know, inside my house. It's not always practical for me to go outside, especially if Nisha is having seizures and stuff. So I'm next to her. But it's funny you say that, because all this week we've had really great weather in Auckland. So we've got a little boat chair for Nishaya, and I'll send you some photos. We've been going outside every day, taking her socks off, putting her little feet on the ground, and just, you know, grounding her feet, grounding my feet, connecting with heaven. So, you know, at the same time we're connecting with heaven, connecting with ground, with Mother Earth, and then just getting love from both ends. So yes, we do ground. And because I think when you do this work, especially for anyone that isn't this work, we are always away with the fairies, because, you know, the energy up there is just so beautiful. But if you don't ground yourself, you know, it's all learning. It took me a while to go, oh my God, why am I so floaty? Is my blood pressure low? But it wasn't that. It was just because I wasn't grounding myself. So now if I'm not grounded, if I feel floaty, it's like have a little pinch of salt, or go ground yourself. So important.
So that's lovely. So as well as the magic, as well as gratitude, as well as you know, really creating boundaries in your life, you've also got this practice of grounding, which I think is really important for all of us, particularly the amount of consumption of digital, you know, 5G and everything else. So that is really awesome. Now, you are a practitioner of Angel Reiki, as well as you teach and share meditations. Are there any other services that you share with your community that people should
I'm not teaching meditation as yet. I have put a Reiki meditation out on my YouTube channel, but that's something I will be diving into definitely. So you're tapping into my energy. That's something I'm doing next year. I feel like that's why I'm here, to be a service, because you know, like I said, once upon a time I was lost, and I promised God, help us, and I will make sure I help others. So this is why I do a podcast. I try and help people in any way I can, because I know what it feels like to have no hope. So going back to your question, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, what else do you practice?
So I do Angelic Reiki. Yeah, I do Angelic Reiki. I'm a practitioner. I do Yasura Reiki, which is Japanese Reiki. And doing my podcast, I am, what else am I doing? So that's all I'm doing at the moment, if I've forgotten anything. And I do a lot of, it is quite a bit, but especially, my main role is being a full-time mum. So everything else that I do is on a part-time basis. Even seeing clients is on a part-time basis. I haven't fully gone into it because Nisha is number one and she needs me.
That's beautiful. But you've actually heard, in terms of your podcast, and people can, we're going to go into where you can reach out to Neelma, but you have had some pretty prominent guests on your podcast over the year, you and Nick. So yeah, people should definitely subscribe to your channel and at least watch it. And
Hmm.
so with that, Neelma, where can people, which is the best way to get in touch with you?
So people can go to my YouTube channel to find my podcast, which is the Everyday Alchemist, because I started the channel on my podcast, and then Nick came on board. So we've had to change alchemist into alchemist. So there's an S at the back. And I have my Instagram, neelmasharma.nz. That's me on Instagram, and my website address probably is the best site to get in touch with me, www.neelmasharma.com. So you can get in touch with me over there as well.
That's lovely. And I'm going to leave it with you just to close us with an ending word, or whatever you prayer, whatever you feel motivated to just seal this lovely offering, and just encourage anyone who's listening. The links will all be below, and I hope that you found value. I certainly really enjoyed this special conversation and learning about your practices, Neelma.
Thank you so much, Carmelle. I appreciate it. I think my ending message would be to anyone that's listening and you are going through something major in life and you feel really, really lost. I just want to remind you that it's never the end until it is the end. So if you can even change one thought pattern and put a prayer out there, because I know 110% when you pray from the purest form of your heart, that prayer gets heard. There's a special angel called Angel Sandalphone, and his duty is to take every prayer from earth to heaven. So it's almost like his head is in the clouds and his hands are down on earth. So he collects every prayer and then he takes it up to God, universe, whatever you want to say. It's not that you'd need an angel, because your prayer will get heard anyway, but if you want to put an extra touch and extra magic into it, call on Archangel Sandalphon and he will make your magic happen.
That is really beautiful. Thank you very much, Neelma.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to the next conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, everyone. See you.